The grandest earthly architectures and natural wonders are staggering, but they are strictly bound by human senses and the laws of physics. To understand the highest level of Islamic paradise, we have to look at a realm where our known reality fades into something else entirely, a place no eye has seen and no ear has heard. This is Jannat-ul-Firdous. It sits at the very peak of paradise, the highest domain reserved for the most righteous and deeply devoted believers. Looking at this conceptual hierarchy of creation, a clear distinction emerges. While lower tiers of paradise and the universe were brought into existence by the divine command kun, meaning be, Firdaus is unique. Islamic tradition states this specific tier was crafted by the Creator's own hands. Because it possesses a different origin, its physical makeup follows an entirely different set of rules. The actual soil beneath your feet is composed of pure musk. The grass sprouting from it is bright saffron, and the gravel crunching underfoot consists of luminescent pearls and faceted jewels. To grasp the reality of Firdaus, we have to look past carbon, water, and earthly geology. This is a world defined by its proximity to the divine, built to a blueprint of celestial craftsmanship. The architecture rising out of that jeweled soil reflects that same divine origin. The skyline is dominated by massive domes and towering palaces, with many of the structures carved out of single, hollowed-out white pearls. When walls are built, they use a distinct repeating pattern. The bricks alternate in sequence, one of solid gold, one of silver, one of white pearl, followed by deep ruby and bright green emerald. This scale comparison reveals the true size of the environment surrounding these palaces. The fruit trees are so massive that if a person were riding a horse continuously, it would take them 100 years just to cross the shade of a single canopy. The branches are heavy with dates, pomegranates, and grapes, but they carry no pits or seeds. The moment you pluck a fruit from its branch, a new one instantly blossoms to take its place. In Firdaus, the concepts of scarcity, seasonal rot, and decay are completely absent. Abundance is a permanent feature of the landscape. Geography here is shaped by 4 distinct types of continuously flowing rivers. There are waterways of perfectly sweet water, rivers of milk whose taste never changes or sours, streams of pure honey, and rivers of wine that never cause intoxication or cloud the mind. Among these are 2 waterways of supreme importance. Tasnim is an exclusive, elevated spring reserved for those closest to God. Then there is Al-Kawthar, a river whiter than milk and sweeter than honey, gifted specifically to the Prophet Muhammad. The inhabitants of this realm are dressed in the finest silks interwoven with gold threads. They recline on elevated velvet thrones, served by eternal youths offering whatever they desire. Their bodies undergo a biological change to handle this eternal consumption. Believers possess the strength of 100 people and can eat and drink endlessly without ever feeling bloated or overly full. This infographic contrasts earthly digestion with the new biology of Firdaus. Human waste is entirely eliminated. Instead, whatever is consumed is processed directly into a light, glowing sweat that smells of musk, instantly emptying the stomach to begin the cycle again. The environment caters to every craving instinctively. If a believer desires meat, birds willingly present themselves as perfectly roasted meals. Once eaten, the bird simply returns to its original living form and flies away unharmed. Every single law of physics and biology in Firdaus is engineered for uninterrupted pleasure. Fatigue, bodily waste, and physical exhaustion simply do not exist here. The immense material wealth of Firdaus leads upward to its highest geographical point. Firdaus is situated directly beneath the Arsh, the throne of Allah. This vertical spatial map illustrates the importance of that position. Because it sits immediately below the throne, Firdaus functions as the primary source. Every river and spring in paradise originates here before cascading downward to nourish the lower tiers. This elevation brings profound internal change. Upon entering, all earthly grief is permanently wiped away. Notice the lower nodes merging with the apex. Out of mercy, Allah elevates lesser-ranked offspring to match their righteous parents, eternally reuniting families separated by differing earthly deeds. It is an elite social environment. The inhabitants spend their eternity conversing directly with prophets, martyrs, and the most fiercely righteous individuals in human history. All of this builds to the final, defining moment of Jannat-ul-Firdous. The inhabitants gather together, and the veil of his greatness is lifted. In a moment of pure clarity, they are allowed to gaze directly upon their Creator. The hollowed-out pearls, the mountains of gold, and the rivers of honey are the physical expressions of this divine proximity. They serve as the backdrop for the eternal experience, profound spiritual peace in the direct presence of the divine.